Good morning. This is the Paradise Unicorn Priestess bringing you day 115 of A Course in Miracles, the Yin translation, where we use female words. This would be April 25th if you are starting at the new year. Your function in the atonement. When you accept a sister's guiltlessness, you will see the atonement in her. For by proclaiming it in her, you make it yours, and you will see what you sought. You will not see the symbol of your sister's guiltlessness shining within her while you still believe it is not there. Her guiltlessness is your atonement. Grant it to her, and you will see the truth of what you have acknowledged. Yet truth is offered first to be received, even as God gave it first to her child. The first in time means nothing, but the first in eternity is God the Mother, who is both first and one. Beyond the first there is no other, for there is no order, no second or third, and nothing but the first. You who belong to the first cause, created by her like unto herself and part of her, are more than merely guiltless. The state of guiltlessness is only the condition in which what is not there has been removed from the disordered mind that thought it was. This state, and only this, must you attain, with God beside you, for until you do, you will still think that you are separate from her. You can perhaps feel her presence next to you, but cannot know that you are one with her. This cannot be taught. Learning applies only to the condition in which it happens of itself. When you have let all that obscured the truth in your most holy mind be undone for you, and therefore stand in grace before your mother, she will give herself to you as she has always done. Giving herself is all she knows, and so it is all knowledge. For what she knows cannot be, and therefore cannot be given. Ask not to be forgiven, for this has already been accomplished. Ask rather to learn how to forgive and to restore what always was to your unforgiving mind. Atonement becomes real and visible to those who use it. On earth, this is your only function, and you must learn that it is all you want to learn. You will feel guilty till you learn this, for in the end, whatever form it takes, your guilt arises from your failure to fulfill your function in God's mind with all of yours. Can you escape this guilt by failing to fulfill your function here? You need not understand creation to do what must be done before that knowledge would be meaningful to you. God breaks no barriers, neither did she make them. When you release them, they are gone. God will not fail, nor ever has in anything. Decide that God is right, and you are wrong about yourself. She created you out of herself, but still within her. She knows what you are. Remember that there is no second to her. There cannot therefore be anyone without her holiness, nor anyone unworthy of her perfect love. Fail not in your functioning of loving in a loveless place, made out of darkness and deceit, for thus are darkness and deceit undone. Fail not yourself, but instead offer to God and you, her blameless child. For this small gift of appreciation for her love, God will herself exchange your gift for hers. Before you make any decisions for yourself, remember that you have decided against your function in heaven, and then consider carefully whether you want to make decisions here. Your function here is only to decide against deciding what you want, in recognition that you do not know. How then can you decide what you should do? Leave all decisions to the one who speaks for God, and your function as she knows it. So will she teach you to remove the awful burden you have laid upon yourself by loving not the child of God, and trying to teach her guilt instead of love. Give up this frantic and insane attempt that cheats you of the joy of living with your God and Mother, and of waking gladly to her love and holiness that join together as the truth in you. making you one with her. When you have learned how to decide with God, all decisions become as easy and as right as breathing. There is no effort, and you will be led as gently as if you were being carried down a quiet path in summer. Only your own volition seems to make deciding hard. The Holy Spirit will not delay in answering your every question what to do. She knows, and she will tell you, and then do it for you. You who are tired will find this more restful than sleep, for you can bring your guilt into sleeping, but not this. Unless you are guiltless, you cannot know God, whose will is that you know her. Therefore, you must be guiltless. Yet if you do not accept the necessary conditions for knowing her, you have denied her and do not recognize her, though she is all around you. She cannot be known without her child, whose guiltlessness is the condition for knowing her. Accepting her child as guilty is denial of the mother so complete that knowledge is swept away from recognition in the very mind where God herself has placed it. If you would but listen and learn how impossible this is, do not endow her with attributes you understand. You made her not, and anything you understand is not of her. Your task is not to make reality. It is here without your making, but not without you. You who have tried to throw yourself away and valued God so little, hear me speak for her and for yourself. You cannot understand how much your mother loves you, for there is no parallel in your experience of the world to help you understand it. There is nothing on earth with which it can compare, and nothing you have ever felt apart from her resembles it ever so faintly. You cannot even give a blessing in perfect gentleness. Would you know of one who gives forever and who knows of nothing except giving? The children of heaven live in the light of the blessing of their mother because they know that they are sinless. The atonement was established as a means of restoring guiltlessness to minds that have denied it, and thus denied heaven to themselves. Atonement teaches you the true condition of the child of God. It does not teach you what you are or what your mother is. The Holy Spirit, who remembers this for you, merely teaches you how to remove the blocks that stand between you and what you know. Her memory is yours. If you remember what you have made, you are remembering nothing. Remembrance of reality is in her, and therefore in you. The guiltless and the guilty are totally incapable of understanding one another. Each perceives the other as like herself, making both unable to communicate, because each sees the other unlike the way she sees herself. God can communicate only to the Holy Spirit in your mind, because only she shares the knowledge of what you are with God, and only the Holy Spirit can answer God for you, and only she knows what God is. Everything else that you have placed within your mind cannot exist, for what is not in communication with the mind of God has never been. Communication with God is life. Nothing without it is at all. Today's text reading says to ask not to be forgiven because that is always granted. It was never not granted. Those of us raised in traditional religions, we have it ingrained in us to ask for forgiveness from a deity. That habit is strong. I have been trying to replace that habit with asking to be healed. When I realize that something in me is not loving, it means that I am recognizing my need to be healed. And so that is how I have been giving those thoughts voice of late. And that's one of the reasons why, though I practice a form of the Ho'oponopono, which is 4 phrases, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you, A Course in Miracles has inspired me to replace the please forgive me with forgiven, acknowledging that we are all already forgiven, so may we be in a state of already having forgiven anything that we think is an attack against us. All right, Lesson 115. Review of lessons 99 through 100. For morning and evening review 99. Salvation is my only function here. My function here is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made, for thus I am released from them with all the world. 100. My part is essential to God's plan for salvation. I am essential to the plan of God for the salvation of the world, for she gave me her plan that I might save the world. On the hour, salvation is my only function here. On the half hour, my part is essential to God's plan for salvation. I just want to place a little note that this review says, my function is to forgive the world for all the errors I have made. That is a key phrase right there. So we have been taught that Jesus took upon him all the sins of the world, and we have interpreted that to mean that he did so by suffering. And I have, in past episodes, declared some perhaps radical thoughts about that. For example, if the past is an illusion and doesn't exist, and they're just stories that we made up, maybe it is a show of our being ready to receive paradise by telling a different story about Jesus, that Jesus did not in fact suffer. And some of my reasons for thinking that Jesus did in fact not suffer at all in the experience of the cross, that Jesus in essence was held in complete safety in the bosom of the mother, as those things seemed to be happening to the onlookers, to the body, which is but an avatar in a video game, so to speak. When we are fully aware of that, we are no longer attached to that avatar and to the illusions that are happening. Just as you would not feel pain when you're in a game and your avatar gets attacked by an ogre or an orc or a barbarian and gets hacked to pieces, and you're not feeling the pain. Anyway, that's how I'm viewing that. But instead, the idea of taking upon oneself all the sins of the world, Jesus set the example in that. In fact, that is what we are all supposed to do. And I mentioned the Ho'oponopono earlier. I apologize, I do not remember the name of the doctor who did this. I know that he is Hawaiian and that he wrote a book, and I believe he's a psychologist, where he was working in a prison for the criminally insane. And they had a lot of problems there, a lot of violence within the prison, a lot of people not able to heal, not able to get better. He didn't work with the prisoners face to face. He sat in an office and looked through their files and read their backstory and read about all the terrible things that they did and saw photos of the terrible things, the evidence of the terrible things that they did. And he would look through them, and then he would say the words of the Ho'oponopono, which are, again, I love you, I'm sorry, please forgive me, thank you. In essence, to say that in response to what he was looking at was to take upon himself the sins. He himself was saying, I'm sorry, please forgive me. In essence, saying, I am sorry for the part of me that believes that this is possible. I am sorry for the part of me that would dream this in the dream, that this could be part of the dream at all. Please forgive me. And again, in my version, I replace please forgive me with forgiven, stating it is already done. The atonement is already complete. There were remarkable changes in that prison. There were miracles that happened. The violence within the prison dropped dramatically. People found healing. People were able to get to a place where they were beginning to function and be sane and have a possibility of being returned to the world even. There was surprise and curiosity, like what happened, what changed, what was done here. It was so surprising and defied explanation. All that really happened was that somebody witnessed in their thoughts, in the privacy of their own thoughts, in their mind, which A Course in Miracles teaches us is the most real thing about what we think of as reality, that within that realm of thought, he witnessed the worst of things and offered love, offered to take responsibility for them and release them, and the power that that has. So I, again, apologize for not having the name. I'll see if I can put it in the show notes. I invite you to look into that. It shows the power of forgiveness. It shows the power of taking upon ourselves the responsibility for everything our eyes see. And our eyes are a symbol for all of our senses, what we perceive, what we are picking up on as seeming to be in the world outside of us, and acknowledging that it is actually a projection of what is inside of us, our fear, our projection of wanting to push it away from us. But then it bounces back to us in some way or form, perhaps only in the form of us witnessing it happening, having an awareness of it having happened, even if it's to someone else. If we are all one, it is always happening to us, is it not? All right. I leave these thoughts with you, and I wish you, dear listener, happy practicing.